Here are my ideas and concepts for using counter as an edge guard with Little Mac. When it comes to Little Mac, your options as far as edge guarding goes is very limited. You have very poor aerials, and you often just go ahead and do the 2-frame with detail, down smash, side B, whatever, right? And I mean, as far as that goes, that's a 2-frame, very small window, as opposed to using counter and trying to intercept the recovery hitbox. It's a little more forgiving in that sense, but counters aren't especially unique to Lil Mac. Everyone has counters, but it's how to specifically use it in line with Mac's weaknesses in terms of recovering. So here we have the runoff. This is very basic. All you do is run off the ledge and use your counter. I'm sure everyone's done it. It's pretty basic, pretty simple. But here's the problem that lies within that is that the momentum forward can create a blind spot behind you, leading you to miss opportunity to counter certain characters with easy to counter recoveries like Cloud, Shulk. See, I missed it, but here I cancel that momentum, ledge runoff, and I drop down. Boom, I get him. So that was a corner drop, which is done by being in an animation right at the ledge, so that it kind of buffers the walk off without the ledge runoff animation, I guess. I do it with dash attack, skid, which is like you dash one way, then you try to turn around, but obviously you don't turn around, and roll. You also just simply jump over the ledge while holding down. It's a lot easier. It's a lot slower though, but you can avoid like accidental fast falling and just gives you a lot more control, especially if you're not sure when your opponent will opt to use their recovery. Got the classic ledge drop. Pretty simple, right? You're hanging on ledge. Boom. Hit him with a counter maybe. And don't be afraid to go deep. Following image is like a map of like safe areas that you can use counter from, and even if you miss, you can still recover. So if you miss it, it's a lot more punishing on Mac as far as trying to recover. So here I'm showing that how far distance counter sends you and how soon I can react out of it with a double jump. Right there, use a double jump. Right there, almost at about ledge height. Here I use at a full jump height counter. There I'm well below ledge height. This is when I can first act out of it. And showing the air dodge distance, which is about the same as how the counter sends me. So your average height is about 1 Mac height below ledge. Any lower and you won't be able to recover. To go this much inward, you gotta run off and use side B towards the ledge while holding down, so you obviously won't grab the ledge. And then boom, you can use counter right there. This is pretty situational, but just, you know what, just throwing it in there. You never know. Now here I have a spot where I just use jump across full hop distance and use counter when you're about parallel to the ledge or like the flatness of the stage. And this one is a full hop plus double jump. And I have Palutena here with the up smash to kind of simulate someone attacking from that height, because I don't know, couldn't be fucked to try and do that with myself using 2 controllers. Imagine like someone like, I don't know, maybe Ike with quick draw approaching from that height. And then using ledge jump, actually you go a little higher than full jump, so that's just another option. Maybe someone's trying to recover extra high, like maybe Terry using power dunk after he got sent up into the corner, or wherever. Again, Palutena to simulate someone hitting, and it's just running off and just with the ledge runoff, using counter. And you know, you don't have to approach with empty jumps. You can use forward air or any aerial really to kind of pressure them. And maybe they'll even do something like this where they air dodge, and then because of that, they're low enough where they kind of have to use in recovery. Of course, Bayonetta is not the best example. It just happened to be a random character select. But imagine a character like, I don't know, Corrin or something. This time I'm using two aerials. I was there and a fair, but you know, once again, same thing. It's easier to counter horizontal recoveries. Counter hit makes you intangible, allowing an opponent to pass through you upwards. Counter hit also reels back a bit, essentially moving in front of an opponent with horizontal momentum. So what I'm going to illustrate here is a vertical recovery moving up past Mac as he reels back while intangible, often leading you to miss certain vertical recoveries. Here I use text to animate a recovery. So Mac has the second slowest counter hit. I think Corrin has the slowest one, but because of this, other counters like Marth Lucina comes out frame 4, and King K. Rool and the princesses come out frame 2. They're able to counter really fast moving vertical recovery like Mario, as opposed to Lil Mac. And because of the startup and the fact that he winds back, causes him to miss out. So here I have the character select screen, and I've marked characters depending on how easy it is to counter their recovery. So I got characters in red, which they either move too fast vertically or they don't have a hitbox. So the red characters are, for this half of the character select screen, Mario, which moves too fast vertically, Yoshi, who doesn't necessarily have to use a hitbox as he recovers, Jigglypuff, once again, doesn't have to use a hitbox, Sheik moves too far away with the teleport, Ganondorf, now he has that fist attack, but it's very unlikely and you risk getting grabbed. Mewtwo doesn't have a hitbox. Mr. Game & Watch moves too quickly. Sonic doesn't have a hitbox. King Dedede doesn't have a hitbox as he rises. Mega Man doesn't have a hitbox. Rosalina doesn't have a hitbox. So I have Greninja half red, half green. For his up B, you can't, but his side B, you can. Palutena doesn't have a hitbox. Inkling doesn't have a hitbox. Joker doesn't have a hitbox. Both Vanilla Joker and Arsene. Hero moves too fast vertically. You can counter the wind, but he's already past you. And Banjo doesn't have a hitbox. And obviously, you're not going to counter Wonder Ring. It's invincible. Then you have Orange, which is like the initial attack moves them too quickly. But if you can catch them in the second half of the move, Mac can hit them. So if you got the Samuses with their screw attack, and Corrin, whatever dragon move that is. And I also have it very marked small, but it's Ken's input Shoryuken. The initial fire animation part moves too quickly vertical, but if you can catch it in the second half, you can counter it. And then obviously you've got the green characters, which are all fairly straightforward, easy. You know, Donkey Kong, Link. You got the princesses, and they don't grab ledge until after the parasol animation's done, so that's kind of easy to do. Let's see. And for Chrom and Ike, I put like a blue thing. That's to signify that you can counter them even on ledge, given that they space it incorrectly. Now, if you were to go to them and try to counter them from their initial point, it will counter them. But if you hit them through the mid part as they are throwing the sword up and kind of spinning around, you're going to miss. Also, I forgot to mark Terry for an orange because if you get the initial hitbox off of a charged rising tackle, he's intangible and therefore you won't actually hit him there. But you can hit him in the later hitbox. For this half of the character select screen, for red characters, we have Kirby. He doesn't have to use a hitbox, but I did mark it blue because the initial hitbox of his up B moves too quickly. But once again, if they space it, you can counter them at the ledge. You've got red. Let's see, Pikachu, quick attack from Pichu as well. You got Luigi up B as well as Dr. Mario up B too fast. Captain Falcon is a grab. Marth Lucina, too quick. Snake, Villager, Bowser Jr., Duck Hunt, Isabelle, Rob, Olimar. Yeah, they don't have hitboxes, as well as Pit up B don't have hitbox. Zelda, you're not gonna be able to catch that. Let's see. Incineroar, way too quickly, as well as Robins are not going to be in a position to reach him. And then for orange marks, once again, with Ryu, just like Ken, the initial input Shoryuken moves too quickly far upward. And Fox and Falco, now you can counter them when they're doing a little charge up animation for their up B. They're like, you can counter them easy, but the initial first half of that move moves too quickly. So kind of like how I said with Samus or Corrin, you can catch them in the later half and they've already slowed down a bit, you can hit them. And I've got Meta Knight marked with all three colors. You can't counter his shuttle loop. And his Drill Rush is easy to attack, but the orange is for the Mach Tornado. Because if you get the lower hitbox, now mind you, it's a huge hitbox. If you get the lower half of the hitbox, he rises up way past you. You won't be able to get it. And now you got green characters. You got the Fox and Falco side B, Skull Bash from the Pikas, Luigi side B, Ness, PK, Thunder. Let's see, yeah, Meta Knight Drill Rush. The Pits, their side Bs, Sirsu Samus, Wario, Toon Link, see, Ryu, Piranha Plant, King K. Rool, Propeller, the Belmont's up B, Shulk up B. Pac-Man, you can get him both in his trampoline attack, which is he's fairly vulnerable when he's doing the trampoline thing. And his side B, you can counter that. Then for Wolf, you can counter his up B, but actually have him marked as a half red because his side B can snap to ledge without a hitbox. So if he misspaces side B and lets the hitbox come out, then yes, you can. But once again, it's not guaranteed, so I wouldn't be confident in doing that. And this goes without saying, but you need to know when and where you can use counter. You have to understand your opponent's resources. Do they have multiple jumps? Have they used their air dodge yet? Can they use side B versus up B? How low can they go? How far out can they be? What kind of trajectory does their recovery go? The worst thing you can do as Lil Mac is to overcommit to the counter. Remember the safe map, safe area zone that I put earlier. However, if you are a stock up or you have a huge lead and you're confident that an extra deep counter, one that you can't recover from yourself, if you're confident that it will gimp your opponent and take their stock, then by all means go for it. You know, everyone thinks that counters are bad. I mean, generally, yes, they are. Most of the time, you're guessing. But when it comes to recovery, at the end of the day, your opponent has no choice but to use their recovery. And this way, with a counter, you can at least exploit that option. So for stages with platforms, you can jump on the platform and from there jump over and use a counter from way out far. And if you got wall jumps, you can do extra deep, about 2 Mach heights down, and you're able to wall jump and recover off from there.